Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, Chelsea.
Hi, Sandy.
Oh, Chelsea, before I even get started, I heard the best joke on my way into the store this morning. So I have to tell you.
Okay.
You've heard of Iron Man.
Yes.
There's now a new guy named Aluminum Man. Do you know what the difference between Iron Man and Aluminum Man is?
No, Sandy.
Well, Iron Man stops the bad guy, but Aluminum Man foils their plans. I just love that joke. I'm sorry.
I like
that is the way we have to
It's a good
start out
joke.
a tomfoolery Thursday with our tips and tricks day today. And so hi everyone and welcome to my sewing room. Hi Glenda. Look, Glenda's already signed in. Anyways, good morning to everyone and welcome to Tomfoolery Thursday. We're doing tips and tricks today.
For sure.
We're going to do a cut up. And I thought that last joke was a real cut up. Anyways, so thank you. We want to thank you very much for all your likes. Hi, Ruth. All your loves, you guys. All the comments that you give us, when you share us with other people, and when you have subscribed to our channel, our web page, or whatever you want to call it.
All of the things.
All of those things. Thank you very much, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. All right. So I got a shout out for a few people. Are
I'm
you
so ready.
Okay. All right. So shout out to Chris L, Ruth C, Glenda I, thank you, Tina B, Ann L, Helen O, Sandy A, Nancy C, I think there's snow coming your way, Nancy, Peggy N, Carol Ann M, Patty G, and Patty B.
That's quite the list, Sandy.
That's a good list of beautiful people, isn't it? All right, so that's our shout out. So Miss Thimble is back with us today. Hi, everybody. Anyways, we're going to talk a little bit about some basics. Mats, rulers, rotary cutting. Because, you know what? Quilting First Class is coming.
It sure is. In February.
Perfect, isn't it?
I'm so excited.
I'm very excited. So Quilting First Class is 4 classes starting February 4th. So every Tuesday, 4th, 11th, 18th, and 25th.
Nice math.
Woo, good math. Isn't that great? Oh, hi, Loanne. How are you? Well, we had an in-person audience today. Morning.
Morning, Loanne.
How you doing? We're doing very well. Okay. Thank you very much. And anyway, so Quilting First Class is coming up. It's 4 classes, and in that you're going to learn how to cut your fabric, how to sew your blocks, how to square your blocks, how to put your top together, how to put a zinger and a big border on, how to quilt it, and how to bind it. So you get an actual finished quilt at the end of those 4 weeks. You do end up with a little bit of homework at home. But, you know, sometimes that happens.
We get that in school too,
Yeah,
Sandy.
we do. Yeah, we have to learn that. Anyway, so that is coming up, and I think it's $99 for the class plus tax. So I want to talk about some of the things that you might need for that class so that you can think about it and budget some of the things that you might need. All right. So there are several things that quilters need.
Several.
Starts with patience. Yep. And a good ear for instruction.
Yes.
Yep. So, yeah, those things are all really important when
good
we
start.
do that. You know, we need those. All right. So let's have a look at some of the mats.
Okay.
Now, we're going to do a close up over here for just a second. I have a pile of them and I hid them underneath here. Woohoo! And we're going to go through them. So the first ones I will mention, of course, are the ones that are kind of recommended for Quilting First Class. And this first one, and you can get OmniGrid, you can get Olfa. This is a Olfa mat. It is 18 inches by 24.
That's a very lovely size.
It is a perfect size. It's good. We use that in our demos with you all the time. It is perfect to bring to class because it doesn't take up too much space. But the important thing is that length. It is 24 inches. And the reason I say that is because usually our width of fabric is like 20, 22 and a half inches. So if you were to cut a nice strip on this, you would be able to fit it all in one motion, all on one mat. So they definitely recommend for Quilting First Class the 18-inch by 24 mat.
That's the size of the mat we use in the studio all the time,
We
Sandy.
do, yeah, because that's usually we're cutting full lengths of fabric, and today we are going to cut some full lengths of fabric. So this is our first one. This is the one recommended for Quilting First Class. Now, if you're already quilting, woohoo, there's lots of other different rulers or mats, that you might be interested in. This is an OmniGrid double-size mat, but if you see, it is all marked off in centimeters. There are no inches on this, but this is a 12 by 18-inch ruler, and there's, oh, there they are. I thought they missed them all together, but no. Here are, on the back side of this OmniGrid, is the inch side. So this one's a nice little travel mat. It's 18 inches by 12 inches, or how many centimeters? 45 by 30. So depending on your instructions. Most of our instructions come in inches, because a lot of them come out of the States and they are still in that imperial system, and we've moved on to metric. But there's a nice little double-sided mat. I like that. Oh, so now there's all sorts of little square ones, rectangular ones. There's even ones that rotate. I like rotating ones.
Rotating ones are quite lovely.
Aren't they
They
lovely?
make your cutting much more ergonomic and friendly.
Yes. So this is good because you can cut, turn, and cut again. And Chelsea and I, we've used this before.
We sure
because
have.
we were doing those half square triangles. There it is. So this is really cool. So this is 17 inches by, does it say?
17.
17. It's a square. Very good. Excellent.
It is a square.
It is a square. So 17 by 17. And on the back side is a nice soft plush, and it has a circle in the center which holds the mat so that it can spin, which is lovely. So I have one of these, but I don't think I have a 17 by 17. I think
Yours is
mine's
pretty big, though.
yeah, maybe it is 17 by 17.
Probably
But
somewhere around that
yeah,
number.
there are some 12 by 12s out there, so that's cool. Now, I noticed, oh, there it is. There's the 12 by 12.
That one's very
So
cute.
this is very cute. It's very small, so if you're not working with too big a block.
Not too small, though.
These are good, right? Mm-hmm. And these are the Olfa mats, and you know what? They're self-healing, and they really do protect your blade, and we're going to talk about cutters shortly, but this is really cool. The rotating mat part is lovely. Now, I found this guy, Chelsea, and I'm not sure.
He's pretty cool.
He's really different. Okay, so he's the same on the back with the cushy back in the center that rotates.
But he's
look,
round.
He is, and he's knobbly. And I look at this OmniGrid mat, and I see that it's got all sorts of angles on it. So this would be really cool for maybe cutting out some blocks if you need 45s or 60s. It still does the 90 degree. It still does the half square triangles where you can put a bias line through it. Yeah, they're quite cool.
They're quite cool.
Very nice rotating mats. Cool. Okay, so let's look at some other options. Now, a lot of times quilters travel.
Yes.
Sometimes they travel to classes. Sometimes they travel to other people's homes. Sometimes they go to their vacation spots. And sometimes they need just little travel mats. And this one's kind of cool because it fits in your bag, but it folds in the middle. Mm-hmm. So it can open up to be 12 inches by 17. But you fold it and stick it in your bag. It fits like a darn. So that's kind of good. They do have some warnings on these.
Don't get it too hot or too cold.
That's right. Don't put your iron on it.
Don't leave it in a hot
Don't
car.
leave it in the hot car because they do warp and bend.
Yes.
So you want to store your mats flat.
Yes, always store it flat.
Yep.
I
Store it
put
flat.
mine behind a bookshelf that's right close to my wall.
Ah, okay.
That's where I store
and
mine at
holds them
home.
nice and upright.
Yep. Or on a hook on the wall.
Oh, hook on the wall is a good idea
the little
too.
ones.
For the little ones. Yeah, I like that idea.
Same with rulers. Keeps
Oh,
them flat too.
It's a great idea. I like it. All right, so that's a storage problem. You need to be able to store these mats flat. One little hack though, if it does get a bit of a wrinkle, I have heard that if you put it on top of your dryer, like on the top of the dryer, and put a weight on it, if you warm it gently, it may stretch itself
That's an
back
interesting
out.
thought.
Anyway,
I have a really warpy one. I could test
you
that
could test
theory.
my theory. Oh, it is Mythbusters to the rescue here.
Mythbusters. We'll
Yep.
see how warpy it is. I'll
Yeah.
bring it in and show you.
Yeah,
next
we'll
week.
check. We'll check it out and see if we can straighten it out. If there's some way to do it. All right, but for the most part, try and keep them flat so they
It's
don't get a
healthier
bend.
for them.
Definitely. All right, and then I was thinking, oh look, they come prepared. These are quilt travel kits. Wow, and this is for little stuff like we were doing yesterday with the paper
Foundation
piecing. Yeah, the
piecing,
foundation
yeah.
paper piecing. This would be cute because it's just the right size. They've got the right size rulers. They've got a square and a ruler in it. It's like cool. So you get 1 inch by 6 inch. Is there really?
It's right here.
Oh, there it is, hiding over there. That's cool. And a 4x4, which is that. And a 6x6, these are squares. That's cool. And a little ruler.
A skinny
and the
mini
mat.
one.
Yeah, 8.5 by 11. That's really cool. That gives
That's
you
pretty
lots of
neat.
variety on that one.
Sure does.
That's cool. All right. So then I found one other mat. Of course, it's that cool rotating 360-degree mat, but it's a baby. It's only
That's
8
adorable.
inches. Not only that, but it gives you a ruler that is 2x8 and an OmniGrid cutter. Ooh, that's sweet. And that's easy to pack up and take with you wherever you go. All right, let's go back to us for just a second, Chels, because I have another joke for us. Are you
Oh, I
ready?
am so ready.
It's not nearly as good as the Iron Man one.
Is it not?
but no. But why do I sleep with a ruler under my pillow, Chelsea?
Are you trying to measure your sleep?
Yeah, I'm trying to see how long I sleep. I know. Pretty sad, isn't it? Sad.
That was good. I liked it.
That was good. Okay. So, did you hear the sad news about the 12-inch ruler?
No.
They're not going to make it any longer.
Oh.
Okay, speaking of rulers, wasn't that a lovely segue? No,
Would you like
she
a
says
close-up there,
no.
Sandy?
Yes, close up. Okay, so now in Quilting First Class, they recommend this ruler, which is a 6.5 inch by 24. Anybody guess how come?
Because we need the 6.5 inches.
We need the 6.5 inches for our blocks and our cuts, but we also need it to be 24, which is the length of the fabric. So this is the first staple ruler that you want to buy. It's a basic 6.5 by 24 inches, and it's really cool. So the only thing about it is it has that extra little 1/2 inch in here. So remember which side you're cutting on, and don't cut from this way going, because you'll get that extra 1/2 inch. Remember to
That'd be a
always,
tough day.
always cut it this way, and you'll get your right amount. Anyway, so that's the #1 ruler for Quilting First Class that they recommend. Now, of course, there are tons of other rulers. They come long and skinny, 2.5 inches by 18. They come 6 by 12. They even have one that's only 1 inch wide. Yeah.
They also have this one.
And then they have this one, which is the Omni
The
Grip.
Big Kahuna.
It's the big kahuna.
It's 8.5 by 24.
Isn't that just the best? But look, this one has all those beautiful markings in degrees, 30, 45, 60. So you can make some of those fun cuts that you use on some of your patterns. So excellent, excellent rulers. I love those. Anyway, so that's a couple of the rulers. We've got a lot more to choose from at the store. The selection is great. So if you're thinking of doing that Quilting First Class, we have the items that you're going to be required to have. All right, so the other thing, I didn't bring squares with me today.
That's okay, Sandy.
Maybe next time. Hi.
B says, I couldn't live without my 24-inch ruler. I have one in each house.
Oh,
That's fabulous.
wonderful. Excellent. Yes, we have to make sure that we are well equipped everywhere we go. Because it's nothing like taking it to one place and then going home and going, oh, I left it behind. This way you can just take your project back and forth.
Yep.
That's wonderful. Good hack there, Elizabeth. All right, and I see that Tina's signed on, Elizabeth's signed on, and who's that over? Malene. Good morning, Malene. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about before we start doing some cuts are rotary cutters.
Oh.
All right, so we do recommend,
Would you like a close-up?
yes, I think so, some 45 millimeter cutters for you, and they come in 3 different shapes, I guess is what you want to call them. And it really depends, I guess, on whether you're right-handed or left-handed. This lovely one from OmniGrid is both. You can use it left or right because it's got, the setup can be switched around, or you can just cut both ways. It has a nice soft handle, and
It looks comfortable.
it looks comfy, and the guide around it is just a plastic guide, but when you push on it, it disappears and you get your blade. But as soon as you let it go, it guides back. So you have less chance of actually cutting yourself.
You know, I found out this is one of Anne's favorite cutters.
Is it? Oh, okay.
That, she has it in this size, and I believe she also has it in a 28.
Ah, sweet.
They're quite lovely.
Very good, left or right-handed. This one, I think you can probably do both because the way the picture's set up, you just transfer your things from side to side.
Yep.
But I have this one. I use this one on the floor when I'm cutting at work because it retracts. As soon as I squeeze the handle to cut, I let go.
No accident.
No accidents. I can't accidentally cut myself.
That's
up.
a
I can,
fabulous
but
idea.
that's the one I use at work.
So that's Sandy's favorite
Sandy's
work one.
favorite work one. But I also have this one, which you see I brought today.
I have the aqua version of this
You have the
one.
aqua version?
I love it.
Oh, lovely. So this is a 45 straight handle. This one you need to make sure that you pull the guide down when you go to cut, and when you're done, put it back up. I remember my first quilting class, they'd come around and make you pay $0.25 if you left your
What?
blade open. And then she brought us treats at the end because you can't remember how many people forget to put that back up. But you should put that back up. That way, if it falls off the table, if you brush by it, it's guarded and you don't cut yourself.
Yeah, you
So
don't
that's
want that.
really important, the safety features.
That's definitely the number one thing I see in our quilting first class classes.
Yep.
Is I find a lot of students are not closing their blades, so I usually walk around and slide them shut.
Ah, very good. At least it doesn't cost you $0.25.
I don't charge a quarter,
Don't charge $0.25.
but I do slide it shut on you.
Okay. All right. So just before Christmas, we got this lovely 45 Olfa in, and look
It's
at the
so
design.
sweet.
I love it. It's just so beautiful. Anyways, that they recommend one of these, and whichever one you become comfortable with. And as I say, I've got more than one because why not? Anyways, a rotary cutter. All right, so other rotary cutters that you can use that we have found useful. I know you had this one out yesterday.
I just bought that actually for my foundation piecing.
Yeah.
And Dawn was telling me she really likes it for when she's cutting really small pieces.
Yes, it's a smaller surface. You can probably get a more correct and accurate cut.
Yes, and it's really nice for curves.
Oh, yeah.
I was
'cause-
using a 28 when I was making masks because I
Ooh.
made the rounded mask style,
yeah.
and I had a acrylic template. I had one of the Creative Grids mask rulers.
Yeah.
So cutting around those angles with the 28 was quite nice.
Yeah, 45 is a little too big.
It was a little hard,
Okay.
and an 18 would also be lovely for cutting around
Okay,
curves.
so yes, so she leads the segue. The good
I sure
that.
did.
18 millimeter. These are the tiny little ones, and they're so cute. And you got to remember, these are the little clicky ones. Click down, click up, so that you put the safeties on. But these are really good for smaller projects. So those are the 18 and 28. Now, I purchased one of these as well, Chelsea. Oh, look, we've got OmniGrids that go do the same in the 28. So there we can.
This
cut
one's
smalls.
Anne's favorite.
This is Anne's favorite. How can you tell? Look at all the bling. The bling
Look
on
at
the
the
bottom.
bling.
of it. Yeah, bling bling. Okay. Now this one. I started doing Hoop Sisters quilts quite a number of years ago. And the first tool they brought out was the Trimmer by George. And it worked really well on a 45. Then they brought out Trimmer by George 2, which was
taller.
thicker. It was, taller. And it had better markings on it. But I found the 45 blade just rolled around the top. It didn't
It didn't
cut. So off I went to the store to get a 60. And actually the 60 is really good because it does work on the Hoop Sisters Trimmer by George.
Yep.
But also on the number of layers of fabric you can cut.
So Dawn in our kit room, she uses this when she's cutting the half pack quilt kits.
Oh.
Because she cuts 5 folded layers at a time.
So that's like 10
layers of fabric. And this is the way to go for that. It's way easier.
So the Olfa 60, because it says it cuts up to 12 layers of cotton fabric.
Yep.
That's amazing.
I haven't tried cutting 12 myself,
but Dawn's done 10.
She's definitely done 10.
All right. Well, those are mat rulers and rotary cutters that you would need for your quilting first class. All right. I got another joke for you. Are you ready?
I'm so excited.
Okay. Are you excited?
I love jokes.
Okay, here comes the joke.
I'm
Are you
ready.
Did you hear the joke about the 13-inch ruler?
No?
Never mind. It was too long.
That was
All right.
cute.
One more joke.
'Kay.
Why was the king only a foot tall?
I don't know, Sandy.
Because he was a ruler.
Oh.
No, I know. Terrible, terrible. But I want to show you
Terrible.
one other thing that came out. I can't remember when these came out. They were handy quilter boxes. And they were the cutest things, but it's give a quilter an inch and she thinks she's a ruler.
That's cute.
So this is one of the ones that I use to pack my goodies to and from the store.
You sure do. You could also put your lunch in there.
Yeah, I could. It would make a great lunchbox.
It looks lunchboxy to me.
Yeah.
You could put a really big lunch in there.
Oh man, yes I could. All right. So Chelsea and I now are going to show you a couple of different cuts on fabric. So let's have a look. If you'll remember, we had this fabric last week and we had it as a meter and we cut it first of all in half, 20 inches, and we made fat quarters. And then out of the other piece, we cut a long 0.25. So these were the 0.25s, fat quarter and regular. So just remembering in quilting first class, we leave the fold in there because we like to use that fold as a guideline to make sure that it's 90 degrees on our ruler so that we get a nice straight cut. And for most parts, we cut the selvage off the bottom.
May I have the ruler, please?
Okay. I
go
stole
with
it
that
from
one.
you. I stole it from you.
Sandy kidnapped. That's
I
okay.
kidnapped the ruler.
I still love her.
Okay, isn't she a good girl? So we know that this is square because we cut this in group last week in the, I think it was tips and tricks on Thursdays. We were making fat quarters and whatnot. So we just cleaned off that. Now, if we were going to make a nice, even strip, let's make a strip.
What kind of strip, Sandy?
Let's do a 2.5 inch because that's usually
like
what we
40-inch wide?
yeah,
too?
like
Okay.
width of fabric, WOF. So let's cut a 2.5 inch so you can see what a typical, not always, but a typical binding strip looks like.
So my fold is down here. I just rotated it so it's more ergonomic.
Oh,
And we're going to cut 2.5. So my ruler has a 1/2 inch on this side over here. So I'm making sure that's hanging off the right because I'm going to cut left-handed.
yeah, she's a lefty. So
Although you might have noticed I cut off part of it right-handed.
I'm going to say she's an ambidextrous cutter.
I've been trying to learn because it makes it easier in classes when I'm trying to teach a righty.
Yeah, they can get the idea watching you in demo it, right? All right.
So here's 1 inch, 2 inch, 1/2 inch, and I'm doing what you call full cutting. Full cutting. So these little lines that go vertical, I'm making sure they're fully on my fabric. And I lined up one of my lines on my ruler with my fold.
So we got a nice 90 degrees straight, and we just cut evenly, smoothly from one end to the other. We're going to make Chelsea really reach for this because she has to sit down to cut. But there's our 2.5-inch strip. Okay, so
beautiful.
that is actually what you call a straight grain cut, because the grain of the fabric runs with the fabric, and we just cut it. So that was cool. Thank you. That's a straight grain cut. Okay. So when you look at it, the stripes run this way. Okay, so that's straight of grain. Now you're going to cut for me a cross grain cut.
Would you like it to be 2.5 inches
I think
wide?
2.5 inches would be really sweet.
Okay, so I've rotated my fabric so my fold is that way. Mm-hmm. And I'm cutting off of my raw edges, and I'm going to line up my ruler line with that nice straight line I just made. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to make sure that my marks are fully on there.
Beautiful. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a cross grain strip. So if you look at the straight grain and the cross grain, you can see the difference in I use stripe material so you could see the actual difference. So one will run this way, one runs longwise. All right, now, magic of camera. We are going to do a bias cut.
Sandy's really giving me tricky ones today.
Yes. But she's up to it. I know Chelsea is up to the task because she's awesome.
I just enjoy cutting things, Sandy.
It's good. That and ripping things out, she's the best.
So I'm going to do a little bit of right-handed and the left-handed cutting so I don't have to move stuff.
Okay.
So on my ruler, I'm going to find my 45-degree line. Mm-hmm. Now, check and make sure where your 45 is landing. So my 45 on this ruler is going to land at the point, and the 45 going the other way actually lands not quite at the point.
And that's because it's got that extra 1/2 inch on this ruler. Okay, so watch out for that if you've got the ruler that's got the extra 1/2 inch. Okay, I'll move that out of the way.
And we'll move this ruler.
Okay,
extra rulers.
Thank you, extra rulers. Can't have enough rulers.
So I am going to line up my 45-degree line. Mm-hmm. Just like so. 45 lined up with the edge of my fabric, and my point is lined up with the edge of my fabric. Gonna apply pressure on my ruler.
And smooth cut. If your cutter is not rolling smoothly, we need a new blade. And you try to avoid hitting pins, edges of your ruler, that kind of stuff, dropping it, bumping it, it gets a little beat up. All right, so here we are. We're making the second bias cut.
1, 2.5 inches.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Isn't that? Okay, that is really cool. All right, so those are the 3 different cuts we can do on fabric. We have the straight grain, we have the cross grain, and we have the bias. So you can see with the stripe how they actually run. I like that.
Do you want to see something really fun?
Yeah, I want to see something fun.
If you did a bias cut on the striped fabric and used it as binding, it would look
super cute.
So cute. Yeah. It's a way to take a nice vertical stripe and make it really fun.
Yeah, and you could do show the binding with this. This is the straight grain one on the cut. So this is fun too. And you get the even stripe.
You sure would?
Nice. I wouldn't recommend the straight of grain for it because
one won't look as cute.
You have to fight with it to make sure it ends up completely even, and it might disappear and come back. So either the straight of grain or the bias would be really cute for binding. Oh, sweet! Look at that, Chelsea.
They're beautiful, Sandy.
Beautiful, beautiful. Fabulous cutting.
Had fun.
You are a real cut-up.
I didn't even have a ruler slip.
Oh!
I'm a ruler slipper.
Ruler slipper. That is perfect. You did it just so perfectly. So everyone got that wonderful look at.
Because people are watching.
That's right. We get a little nervous when people watch, don't we?
Some days.
Some days. I was just going to find somewhere on my pile.
Nancy joined us.
Oh, did
says,
she?
Good morning.
Hi, Nancy. So, Nancy, is it snowing there yet? She says no, maybe coming soon to a location near you.
Has Nancy not had any snow yet?
Oh, yes, she was.
She
And
had to go down
to get
snowing.
tractored out.
Oh,
So-
dear.
So, yes, she has had some snow.
You know, you could stay at the house and just keep sewing.
I think that's a marvelous idea, but I think she had to get to work.
Oh, yes.
You know that thing that we do, that work stuff.
Yep.
All right, well, I've lost my announcement sheet, so let's just tell everybody off the top of our heads what's happening the rest of this week.
Okay, so Friday, Let's Get Reducated is happening. So there will not be a Facebook, YouTube Live, but Bernadette is going to come and hang out with us, and we will be talking about mastering metallics. And I'm just realizing tomorrow is Friday.
Yes,
Today
it
is Thursday.
Yeah, today is
Don't
Thursday.
know why. I knew that this morning when I got up that tomorrow is Friday, but for some reason it just wasn't clicking. You found your sheet.
I found my sheet. Okay, so Chelsea started us off just beautifully. So tomorrow, yes, is the Mastering Metallic Threads. So if you aren't signed up, please get signed up. Send us in an order online at mysewingroom.ca or give us a call at the store, 403-252-3711, or come visit us.
That one's our favorite.
That's our favorite. Our favorite is when you come visit us. All right, so the next thing is, of course, we talked about quilting first class.
We sure did.
That starts in February 4th, 11th, 18th, and 25th are Tuesdays, and 10:30 a.m. to 1:30. And as I say, they're $99 plus tax, and you have to give us a call or drop in. I really recommend dropping in and getting signed up because we can help you with picking your stuff like your mat and your ruler and your rotary cutter and your squares and your fabric and your thread. And my hat's fallen off.
It looks great.
Does it look good? Okay. Okay, so that's coming up. Now, starting next week, we are starting our new owners classes.
Yes, all these beginner classes are honestly some of my favorite classes because you get to see when everyone actually sees what their machine can do and what they can do,
Yes.
which is great.
And a lot of times they are new people. And so we are making new friends when we come. And I know that there are people who attend classes now just to be with their friends. So
Yes.
you never know. You might make a really good new friend in this class too.
That would be
So that
fabulous.
would be fabulous. All right. So that's coming up starting Tuesday, February 4th. Now, next week is Serger class. So if you bought a Bernina, Burnett, or Brothers Serger from us, please consider giving us a call and getting into that Serger class. It's Thursday and Friday next week, which is January 16th and 17th. It's 10:30 to 4:30, and it is free of charge for those who purchased with us. There's just a kit fee, which you pay on the day that you show up. So give us a call, or as I say, stop in and we can help you with all of your items that you need for class. All right. So that the following week, and I have to tell you, and I'm sorry, I will be here on Monday for Monday Minute, but
Yep.
I am away Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. So, and class is on Friday. So, no, it's not on Friday next week, is it?
Thursday,
Yes,
Friday.
Thursday, Friday. So there's actually no Facebook Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday next week. I will be away for a little bit, and I will be back the following week to drive you crazy again. But next week I'm not here. So,
But we have a whole bunch of fun planned for the
yes.
week Sandy returns.
We're coming back and we're going to get sassy. Sassy. Anyway,
Sandy.
sassy. We're going to get sassy.
Sassy Sandy.
Sassy Sunday. All right. Anyway, so that's what's happening the rest of this week and what's going to go on next week. I forgot to mention too that I guess that's it for next week, isn't it? I think there was some social sewing dates though. I don't want to miss those. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yep.
Yep.
January 11th, the 13th, the 24th to 25th, and the 27th we have social.
All social sewing. So if you want to take that new machine you've just learned how to do or want to get together with your friends and come sew, we are available.
Yep.
And next week we have 2 volunteer opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, the 14th. we have the second installment of the Giving Tuesday, which is for So Powerful, and we're currently at 77 persons.
That's fabulous. Let's make 100, okay?
So come on in, hang out with us. It is a free day to just come in and sew for So Powerful.
That's right.
I know some of our friends were just making purse flaps and embroidering them and having those done. And then some were doing the entire little bag, and others were embroidering and making the bag.
Oh, fabulous. And I have to say that they were making them that day in class and here at the store, but they were also bringing them in. So if you have any finished ones at home, please drop them by. We are collecting them. They're for the So Powerful purses. The only thing about next Tuesday, the 14th, it starts at 10:30, goes to around 3:30. You have to call and reserve a spot so that there's table space. Okay? Yeah. All right. And the other quilt from the Heart is next Wednesday, January 15th as well. That is a great charity project. They donate their quilts to Luna Project, and that is awesome. And they meet on Wednesday, as I say, 10:30 a.m. And so if you want to come in and donate a little time, energy, those two are worthwhile causes that we love to support. All right, so everybody, that is what's going to happen for the rest of this week, what's going on to next week, and we have no Facebook tomorrow because of Threaducation, but I will be back on Monday for the Monday Minute to let you know what's happening for the next week or two, and that's wonderful. I hope you have a great weekend. It looks to be fabulous. So
It's going to be exciting.
it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be a good weekend.
I think it'll be wonderful. Wonderful. It's going to be wonderful.
I know I'm going to have a wonderful start to my weekend.
I do believe
because
so.
Bernadette's coming to hang out tomorrow.
That'll be awesome. So
I love when she comes to
if you
visit.
haven't signed up, sign up for the Wonderful Mastering Metallic Threads.
I cannot wait.
All right, sounds good. All right, everyone out there, have a wonderful